Welcome everyone to match day 2 of the Pokemon Premiership. We are here after the fantastic weekend that we had last time around for another round of group stage matches. I'm here joined by a lovely panel, Matt, Spectre, and Titanes. Boys, how are we feeling ahead of today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good for the matches. I think for some stuff surrounding my life, not as well. But now that we have the matches here, it's made my week a lot better.
Yeah.
And so we have some people in the chat. Hello to Willow as well, to Psychick, who have already joined us. And yeah, I guess we are not going to have much delays for this one. We have a lot of battles to get through. Many of them were replays. And so I believe we're going to start with one of those. And then eventually we're going to have our only live battle of the day, which is going to be Spectre against Savutian. Whenever you tell me that you're ready for that, we can go ahead and have that. For now, I believe we can start with the first match that took place in Group A, which was this battle between Willow and Idaa as well. Obviously, Willow had a very, very strong performance in the first match day. On home soil, picked up a 6-0 victory, and now facing up against Idaa, who was one of the newcomers that lost in the first match day against Eli Bongo, but still showed some very, very positive signs with this Renk team of theirs. So I think this is a very interesting matchup to take a look here. Willow is coming in with the Smeargle, who has become a bit of a mascot for him, considering that he also picked it up last season as well, and an interesting pick for sure, because it can learn basically every move. Ogre Pond, Wellspring, Mega Scizor, Petarant, Tinglu, and Tornadus Therian. On the side of Idaa, we have Azumarill, Victini, Weavile, Mimikyu, Iron Threads, and that Pelipper. Titanes, looking at the matchup here, what do you think, or where do you think that the battle could be decided?
Well, of course, I think Idaa's coming to this tournament as he's shown he has quite a decent trainer. I think his loss against Eli Bongo, I think Eli did have a good game, but I think even he himself would admit it was a bit fortuitous with how he came out on top. I think that we've seen in the past, I mean, I obviously wasn't here, but I have seen in the past how dangerous weather-based teams can be. I'm sure Willow was well aware of that as well. So yeah, I'm very interested to see how Willow has prepared for Ida's rain-based team.
Indeed. Well, I guess we don't have any more delays. We're starting off with a banger from Group A. Is Willow against Idaa to start off the weekend, and it's going to be the Smeargle against the Mimikyu, and right away, the Spore putting the Mimikyu to bed, and the sticky webs go up. Smeargle with the perfect support, and now the Stone Axe breaks the disguise and sets up the rocks. Those are 2 hazards already, and this Mimikyu is still asleep.
He gets a full sleep.
No.
I think it is.
Finally wakes up. Misses on the Scizor. That's actually massive.
Okay, but
unlucky for Idaa there.
It gets on the Becker run there, but
I think the Rapid's going to come in now.
Yeah, Threads does get Rapid Spin. The Shadow Ball is not a lot of damage, but drops the special defense.
That's
a bit unlucky for Idaa. So now the parting shot comes out to rotate into the Ogre Pond. Super Cell Slam is not a lot of damage into the Ogre Pond.
So it doesn't have Rapid
parting shot.
Potentially doesn't.
The critical hit on the Ivy Cudgel, and the Mimikyu goes
it again.
Down.
What do we make of Rocky Helmet on Mimikyu?
A bit strange.
A bit strange, but not the weirdest thing we've seen in the Pokemon tournament.
Yeah.
Another Hurricane. Wonder why this Pelipper is not going for some Water Stab onto the Tinglu. Pelipper took a lot of damage there. The Rock Tomb is going to drop Iron Thread's speed even more. And it seems like for now, there is the Rapid Spin, but it's immune because it's a Ghost type.
Why didn't he use it before?
He tried to go for it again. Trying to catch something on the switch. There it is.
Okay. Finally. There. So there goes everything.
Fair enough.
Another critical hit, and the Iron Threads goes down.
Ball
Why not
Freeze.
Weavile?
Pokemon. Well, Weavile would have gone down to
Fusion,
the
okay.
Focus Blast anyway.
Refuse.
And here comes it
Ooh.
again.
And it still
And
hits
Pet
Probably
through.
his most important Pokemon down.
Now
There's no
here's
Focus Sash or Ice Shard.
Fake Out is the choice instead. On the
It's a
life
life
orb.
orb. Victini.
As you can
Victini
Victini.
comes out.
And also the
takes-
U-turn takes okay amount of damage, but now Ting
Victini is
Lu is
also
here.
his mascot.
Yeah, and
But
in the rain, how
weakened
much
by
is
the
Ting
rain,
gonna
and
do?
it
Final
Final
Gambit
Gambit.
takes itself out, and it's not
Very
enough
strange.
to take down the Ting Lu. And
But-
Idaa is down to their final 2 Pokemon here. Ice Spinner is
Even
not going
Ice
to do a lot
Spin,
of
I
damage
don't
to
get it.
Chicharon.
And takes helmet damage as well. And
Malignant Chain is
that's
gonna be
so much
super
damage.
effective.
Ooh.
Liquidation, that would have
is
done
not
more.
enough.
Aqua Jet has to go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're gonna go down
Jet,
to
you're gonna go
Helmet
down.
anyway. And they
Recover
recover
power.
through.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is
And I
completely.
think that's gonna be all she wrote. Caesar is gonna come in to clean up against the Weavile.
Comes our
There's
Ice Spinner,
quite literally
just
nothing the
bounces
Weavile
off.
can do here. Didn't even go for the bullet punch. Ice Spinner comes through. The U-turn is enough.
Wow.
And Willow picks up his second 6-0 win in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I think Willow had an absolutely fantastic game. I mean, it just shows. I mean, he has such a champion's mentality to, he could have easily just finished the battle off with Tinglu, but he wanted to have no room for error at all and switched into Scissor, even though the battle was over at that point. But some very strange decisions, I'd say, from Idaa, who showed a lot of promise in his first matchup. But that's not to dismiss Willow's performance because he played very well. But still, I think some questionable calls there by Idaa.
I think the start of the battle just kind of set the tone for what was going to be the Spore on the Mimikyu, and then the setup of the webs and the rocks with the Stone Axe was just crazy tech from the side of the Smeargle. And yeah, it just kind of set everything up for it later on. Idaa was forced to go into his Rapid Spinner, and yeah, it wasn't good enough in the end. But we've seen some promise from Idaa, and I'm sure that he will come back stronger next match day. But this was a heavy defeat, and Willow 2-0, 12-0. Crazy record so far from the homeboy here hosting the tournament. So yeah, incredible stuff from him. So for now, I've gotten no confirmation of our live battle, but we're going to have it later. So for now, we're going to move on to the clashes that took place in Group B, starting off with one of our panelists, Mats, going up against Seb, a very highly anticipated matchup because obviously both starting the tournament with a loss and needing to pick themselves back up. We know that basically you need to get 2 wins and you're almost guaranteed qualification, but if you drop 2 games at the start, it will be very, very tough. Yeah, Mats?
I just remembered my lineup graphic.
Uh-huh.
Do you have one?
I do, but I need to transfer it to my laptop and then paste it.
Okay, well, I think we can go on without it. We see the lineup right here from Team Mats, which is going to be Tapu Koko, Infernape, making its return after not featuring in Matchday 1, Latias, Hoopa Unbound, Dondoso, and Fortress up against Seb's Screamtail, Dragapult, Mamoswine, Arcanine, Terrapagos, and Superior. So, I don't know, Mats, obviously you're going to speak a bit more on the matchup afterwards, but what was kind of your thought process when it came to your preparation here?
So, 3 changes. I've got a new defensive setup with Dondozo and Fortress, and Infernape comes in this time. I thought he could do more damage to this team and wasn't as weak to as many of the Pokemon that compared to what T10S had, and even whether I won or lost against T10S, I did have that in the back of my mind that I wanted to bring these 3 Pokemon onto my second battle, and looking at the team, Tapu Koko seemed like an obvious bring, and then and then I figured out the rest from there.
Fair enough.
And I'd also like to say that, whilst I think of it, Infernape and Mamoswine have played in every matchup that Seb and I have been involved with.
Yeah, I think that's also a big talking point because it's not the first time that you faced up against Seb. In fact, you guys have played a couple of times, including once in the playoffs where, despite you taking a lead in game 1, Seb ended up taking a 2-0 victory there. But
And Mamoswine was on my team then.
Yeah, that time it was Mamoswine and Infernape fighting together, this time on opposite teams. And we're going to have to see how it plays out. It's a spicy matchup from two very experienced trainers here at the Pokemon Premiership in Matchday 2, both looking for their first win in the tournament. Let's see what the leads are. Mamoswine on the side of Seb against Hoopa from Mats.
The magic
code.
But no rocks coming in.
From the Earthquake.
And I shard
Incredible
goes in.
damage from the Mamoswine. And the check
I
from
think
Mats
it's
didn't pay off.
I think it's a fair call for to go for that magical because I think that Mamoswine is the only person on Seb's team that can learn Stealth Rock.
Yeah.
The hidden
And
power,
then the power fire.
fire, and Fortress is already
contrary.
down.
Glare. Oh.
And there's the
that's
glare.
tough.
Oh,
Poison jab
jab.
does so
And the
much damage.
poison.
It's the poison.
gets a poison big from
I think
Infernape right
That's
there.
But he doesn't use
It
it.
goes out. He'll
Decided
sack
to let
Hoopa.
Hoopa go down. And now it's 5-on-4 in favor of Seb. A very bloody battle we had here at the start. Terrapagos is going to come in against Tapu Koko.
Ooh. And the electric surge comes in.
That's going to be the ball
Surge.
switch to break the
The
Terra
volt
Shell.
switch.
And here
Down
comes
goes
Here comes the
Doodle.
dawn.
Earth
And Earth
Power.
power does so
Oh,
much
tanky.
because it's not much of a.
Thunderbolt in the electric terrain. We see how much coverage this Terrapagos has. The
Mist
Mistfall is a lot
Mist
of
ball
damage.
goes
Bug Buzz.
Bug Buzz,
Terrapagos
but doesn't
has
do so much.
coverage for everything. Yeah, it's not a
Mist
lot,
ball.
but Screamtail tanks the
Another
Mistfall
mist
pretty
ball.
well.
The Shadow Ball's gonna
Shadow
do
Ball.
more.
Latias also has
Yeah,
some
and doing
coverage.
a lot of damage.
Ooh.
But the baton pass into the Mamoswine, and now Latias has to switch out into the Dondoso. Ice Shard is not a lot of damage.
What's
Matt so
coming?
far
Okay.
stabilizing the
Rest.
game.
No, it's a
Rest
rest.
comes through to heal Dondoso
Okay.
up.
No berry as
There's
well.
a Shadow Ball.
Shadow Ball comes through.
Mist.
It's going to be the
Leap
Sleep
Talk.
Talk into the
Avalanche.
Avalanche. And it's so much damage into the Dragapult. Incredible. And the Rocket
And the
damage
Rocket
into the
damage.
Dragapult on the U-turn. And it's 4-on-4 right now.
Probably strongest Pokemon down.
Oh, no. Wish comes through. Protect from the Screamtail to heal itself
Okay,
back up.
that's good. That's good.
They're trying to stabilize right here.
Shadow
Another
Ball
Shadow
again.
Ball comes through. It's about a third of damage. Play
Play
rough.
rough.
Play rough.
It's not enough to
It's
take out
not.
Latias.
Oh my
That is a
goodness.
tanky Latias.
Screamtail does not have a lot of attack, to be fair.
No.
Wall
Arcanine with the
charger
wall charge,
bounces
super
off.
effective damage on the Dondoso. Recall and
Wakes
Rock
up.
Helmet damage. Liquidation.
Liquidation.
comes through.
Liquidation.
Not enough damage. It's a switch into the Terrapagos,
He's
but
gonna
the
be able to rest.
Dondoso
Rest
goes
again.
back to sleep and heals itself
He's
back
back
up
at
again.
full.
Dondozo will not go down.
Oh, but
Thunderbolt.
Latias does not survive the Thunderbolt. And Mats is down to his final 3 against Seb's 4, but Seb's 4 are very
Arcanine.
damaged.
Oh.
Here comes Arcanine. He's going to go down to Discharge. And Mats has
Not
equaled the
there.
Pokemon lead. It's a very, very close battle.
This charge.
Discharge comes to the
Wish
Screamtail.
comes in. Go to Dondozo.
Yeah, great.
And now you
switch
can
on the
just waste
Protect.
a turn of rest. You can either rest turn right here, maybe even take 2. There's a
Sleep
Sleep Talk
Talk, the
liquidation.
liquidation.
And the
Game
drop.
over, defense drop.
And we'll trade
But
another
on
helmet.
pass, importantly, he's going to pass the defense drop as well. The Sleep
Oh,
Talk
wow.
into another liquidation and another
If it's
defense
another
drop.
drop.
Oh
my
But
my
it doesn't
God.
matter because Dondozo has unaware.
He wakes
The
up.
Thunderbolt is a lot of
Avalanche
damage.
kind of bounces off. He'll sacrifice
down.
here.
Now Dondoso goes down. Here comes
And
Tapu
he'll-
Koko to try to clean up. Dazzling
Dazzling
Gleam. That's
Gleam.
exactly
Dazzling Gleam
that.
just one
Terrapagos
wasn't
goes down.
enough.
It's 2-on-2. Dazzling Gleam
Mamoswine,
is a lot of damage into
80%
the
is not
Mamoswine,
enough.
but the Earthquake takes
Oh,
down the
no.
Tapu Koko. And
Infernape,
it's
the last man
Infernape
standing.
paralyzed against the world. Mach Punch
The
is
Mach
enough
Punch
to
is
take the
enough.
kill. And now it's a
It's
one-on-one
one-on-one.
Infernape against
One-on-one.
Screamtail, who's going to come out on top.
Play rough.
Play
Play
rough,
rough
not
does
a lot of
35. Poison
Poison
jab.
jab.
Poison
It
jab
was
comes
up.
through.
And
Gets
the
the poison.
poison.
He got the poison. The Screamtail goes down,
Let's go.
and Matt has taken down Seb.
it is worth noting that that poison was the difference between a win and a loss for Mats, because Mach Punch would have done at most 6% damage to that Screamtail.
Yeah. Wow. What a battle. Incredible from both sides. Incredible preparation from Mats. And amazing because this is Matt's first victory against Seb. It's not the first time he's pulled up an upset of this kind of manner, but that was still an incredible battle. And Seb, the pot one from this group, starts off the group 0 and 2. Incredible stuff. I don't know, Matt, if you want to share your thoughts after what was that battle, because I mean that was nerve-wracking until the end.
Yeah, once I went down on my first Pokemon, the plan from me and the group was to just keep it tight, stay in, and we'll get at our moment. I think even with that win, I still made a few mistakes. I think I went too early with the magic coat. Even in my plan, even in my preparation, the plan was to go straight to Dondozo, but for whatever reason, I decided to go with magic coat, and I should have known that Seb wasn't going to set up rocks until Fortress was down and Infernape either out of position or probably most likely down as well. And then I probably should have scouted the hidden power fire, but I turned that into a positive by sending Infernape in, and then on turn 29 when I clicked Avalanche instead of Rest, I thought I'd blown it, but then at that point I just thought Dazzling Gleam's probably my best hope at taking out Terrapogus if I then want to inflict damage on Mamoswine. Then it was basically I could set my Pokemon up to the next phase, kind of like when I battled Psychick, when he did Infernape to get me past the Moltres and a Sceptile to do the rest. And in this case, Infernape, Mach Punch, and then I gave it Poison Jab. The idea was I thought when I first came up against Superior, he was going to switch out to Screamtail. So the idea was I could catch him out on the switch in, but Poison Jab's still good against Superior. And then I think another thing that got me this win is that I thought I made the right sacrifices, especially letting go of Hooper at the time I did. Same with Latias, because seeing as Sneasler and Skarmory weren't brought, her responsibilities she didn't have that much to do, so I just delegated her the role of spreading damage on Terrapogus and Screamtail, and so once she went down, I could set her up, could put Dondozo in a position, and later after Dondozo went down, I could put Tapu Koko, and then later Infernape, and I saw that Dondozo had Avalanche, and I thought that was probably the best way of taking Dragapult down, which I probably maybe underprepared in regards to how I could take down Dragapult, in the sense of not giving myself enough options based on what I can remember. But what I did ended up working, and Rocky Helmet did the rest for me. And speaking of Rocky Helmet, I thought it was good prep from Seb to put a Rocky Helmet on Screamtail, with the idea that I would likely target its physical defense if I didn't have the appropriate type matchup.
Yeah, no, I agree with all of those points. Obviously, Seb had good preparation as well, but in the end, it wasn't enough. I think that we see the improvements from Matt's season after season. Even if you could say that in the last one, you didn't get the objective that you wanted, you were in a very tough group, and you still showed some very, very good fight. And in this tournament so far, gone up against Titanes, that was a very close battle. And now against Seb, another very close battle where you actually get the victory, and a much needed one, because with how close things are looking in Group B and in all the groups, I think that getting that win is just so key to the chances of qualifying. And for Seb, I mean, he's going to have his bye week this week. And yeah, he's going to have some time to rest and adjust, because he basically has to win the 2 remaining games that he has. And that is going to be a tall order for him if he wants to escape this group stage. And yeah, I didn't think that we would see him in this kind of position this early on. Someone that is very experienced, has a lot of, he's cold and calculated, and so far hasn't worked out for him for one reason or another. But absolute cinema. Yeah,
from this week and last week, I got the sense that my squad's been coached so much better than last time, not just from the newcomers like Bruno, but the remaining guys that have stepped up. T10S, as you're in this group too, do you have anything to share?
No, yeah, I think it's one of the. I think this is. I think might be a bit a bit of a hot take, but I think out of everyone in this tournament, I think you beating Seb was it's the most significant win you could possibly have. Listen, there are, I think, better trainers than Seb, such as Willow or Renk, but I think the personal connection you have with him as competitors, and you faced him like around 4 to 5 times, but I think might be more than anyone else in the history of this tournament, and he's gotten a better view every single time. And then, yeah, I think you beating him signifies how far you've come. So as a fellow competitor and a friend, I'm really happy for you. And in looking at the group stage, I think this does benefit the Bangkok Shinobis as well, because that was a very strong trainer, and if he loses one more game, you could say he could be out of the equation, which increases our chances of doing very well in the group.
Another big moment I remembered about was near to the end. I think it was whilst I was on my last 2 or 3 Pokemon, but the moment, well, initially after the misplay on 29, I thought I'd blown it. The moment afterwards where I saw a way where I could win and then have the confidence to actually go for it. I'd hovered over Screamtail, saw that it hadn't used any attacking Psychick moves, so I thought Infernape's not in too much danger, or if should it come across.
Yeah,
that was a big moment.
Crucial win for Team Mats. We're gonna move on now to the other battle on Group B, and this is personally a highly anticipated one, because it's officially the debut of Philippe going up against Kaijinken. We've been waiting on Philippe to make his big statement, because he was talking so much trash in the Discord server, which this time I have remembered to leave the link in the description for anybody watching that wants to join the Pokemon Premiership Discord server to be a spectator and talk to the players and see what's going on behind the scenes. And yeah, here we have a battle against Kaijinken, who had a really strong debut up against Seb, and now going up against Philippe. I think this is one that I have no idea where it could go, because we know that Philippe has been talking a lot, and he says that he's really good. And Kaijinken, he's already gotten a chance to prove in Matchday 1 that he actually has what it takes to go up against anybody. Kaijinken here has brought up Araquanid, Goldengo, Greninja, Landorus Incarnate, Ditto, and Kyurem Black up against Philippe's Landorus Therian, Moltres, Bronzong, Zygarde, Melmetal, and Aron Moth. Spectre, can you tell me a bit about the teams and how do you see this one playing out?
I think, at least like on the first glance, it seems pretty even. I think Kaijinken's Kieran Black looks pretty strong into Philip's team, especially just because of the wide amount of coverage it has. You can use electric moves on Moltres, you can use ground moves on half his team because he can ignore the levitate of Bronzong. You use your stab ice on Zygarde, but it's really just trying to make sure that. Excuse me, but Philip's team is also pretty bulky itself as well. You can cycle intimidate. You can dance around with Melmetal. You can try to open, but then you can also like return fire with Melmetal and the 2 fire types he has as a team. I think, in my opinion, the advantage goes to Kaijinken for the matchup here, simply because I think that the combination of not only Kieran Black but then other really strong. He's going all out offense here, and I don't think that Philip's defensive structure will be able to hold well.
Well, we'll have to see. It's the long-awaited debut of Philippe going up against Kaijinken. A big matchup here. Let's see how this one plays out.
So someone Doodle had hyped up as well.
Indeed.
Double Iron
Bash. Despite being resisted, is so much damage until the Goldengo. Melmetal hits so incredibly hard. Shadow Ball is going to come through. A lot of damage onto the Landorus as well. U-turn. It's going to come through.
No
most
knockoff.
likely Scarf on the Landorus. Yeah, no knockoff. Instead, just going for that rotation. And the Shadow Ball is going to hit this Aron Moth, who has the booster energy into speed. That Fire Dance did absolutely nothing on the Araquanid. Araquanid is so tanky and breaks the sub with the liquidation. Energy Ball does nothing
No
either.
poison move?
The liquidation just goes down. It wouldn't have done much anyway on the bug type. The double Iron Bash is still so much damage despite being resisted. Costa Berry moves faster and the Endeavor comes through.
But he's already faster
the
regardless.
Still some interesting step on the side of Kaijinken, and now he's 5-on-5, but a lot of damage has been done to the Melmetal. Moltres comes in. Greninja's going to be the switch as a U-turn comes out, super effective. And now he has another U-turn here with the Scarf of the Landorus, which is why Kaijinken has to switch out.
But he goes for Earth Power. Bricks.
It's a special attacking Landorus. The hidden power, probably Ice, not very effective, but still takes down Melmetal very low. And that berry is not going to help you if you're so low. Landorus comes through. Hidden power comes through. The hidden power ice is not enough damage. Sprays the hidden power ice. And the Landorus has taken down the other Landorus and takes itself out with the life orb. We see a trade right there. Dark Pulse is going to be super effective damage on the Bronzong with the protein. And gets the flinch. Gets the flinch. Another Dark Pulse and Bronzong goes down. Philippe is against the ropes here. Another Dark Pulse comes through onto the Moltres. Mystical Fire is not enough to take it out.
Mystical Fire does get the drop.
Does get the drop, and that means that Moltres gets to live to get another roost. This is good from Philippe, but this is going to be enough. Another roost comes through.
But back to full.
But this Kyurem is still full health, and the Fusion Ball comes through. Super effective. Mystical Fire is not going to be a lot of damage onto the Kyurem. It's not enough, and another Fusion Ball takes out the Moltres. It's Zygarde against the world. Philip is against the ropes. What is this Zygarde going to be able to do? Nothing, because the Icicle Sphere comes through. And Kaijinken, statement 4-0 victory over Philippe.
There will be a lot of silence. You will hear silence from Philip's end of the stadium.
Yeah, the Discord server has been awfully quiet ever since this battle took place. But what a statement from Kaijinken. 2-0 already, and what a massive performance this was. I really enjoyed that battle. I think very well played on both sides, but it seemed like Philippe just didn't have the tools to break through Kaijinken's turn, and the moment that Landorus went down on his end, I felt like there was not much else he could do to resist the onslaught. That Araquanid was so tanky as well.
Yeah.
Simply built different. Incredible work from the side of Kaijinken. And yeah, 2-0 in the tournament so far, coming from pot 5. Incredible stuff from his end. And yeah, I think, I don't know, guys. Do you have any thoughts on that matchup and how it played out?
I mean, I heard. Go on, sorry.
Probably the flinch was the biggest game changer, and then also I think Philip did keep himself in it during the start, but I think that beginning actually, I was going to say maybe the beginning was a part of the outcome, but I think it was pretty even until the second phase.
Yeah, and it was important as well how Kaijinken's Landorus survived the hidden power from the opposing Landorus to keep that battle going. I feel like Landorus could have done a lot of damage had he gotten the knockout there with the hidden power, but it wasn't the case and ended up going down before that. Amazing display from Kaijinken, and Philippe still has 3 games for him, and he's going to have to bounce back. But yeah, so far, amazing stuff from our debutants. We're going to move on to Group C because the reigning champions, the Buenos Aires Ninetales, started off with a loss, have to go up against zlord, who started off with a win against Psykick, one of the debutants. Here we have the lineup graphic for the Buenos Aires Ninetales up against Team zlord. Landorus Tyrion returns to the lineup with Tapu Fini Hydreigon also being the other change that is made to the team. Tyranitar Excadrill is still there, and Enamorous Tyrion as well. And we're going to have to see what zlord's lineup looked like for this very, very important battle in Group C. Pretty much a must-win for me if I wanted to keep realistic chances of advancing to the knockouts. And yeah, zlord's team is going to be the Dragapult, the Mega Mawile, the Lilligant, which was so key in his victory over Psychick, Tinglu, Hisuian, Zoroark, and the Tangrowth over here. I'm not going to speak much on this matchup until after the battle, but I don't know. Does anybody want to comment on how the lineups are looking?
Well, yeah, I think zlord has some. I think Dragapult, and it's one of the best Pokemon in this entire tournament. It's just so good. Then you've got, I think, Hisuian Zoroark. I mean, I think you drafted the rank, so you know how good it is. It's it's type matchup, and it's obviously its illusion ability. And then I think Tangrowth and Tinglu are very good, strong defensive cores. Mega Mawile is a bit of a tank because of its type matchup, but can also fight back very hard. But I think your team is very interesting as well. I mean, of course, you have the Excadrill Tyranitar setup, which if set up correctly, it can sweep completely. Hydreigon is, 2 pseudo legendaries on your team. It's very good. I mean, 2 legendaries as well on your team. I know 3 legendaries on your team. So very, very strong. I think zlord's team is a bit more about gimmicks, a bit about playing with gimmicks, while as your team is a bit more powerful on paper. So I'm very interested to see how that dynamic plays out.
Yeah, I think really the big question.
Yep.
I think really the big question for Renk's team is really if it can break through Tangrowth, because it's so bulky, and it looks like a pretty obvious stopgap to the main core of Tyranitar and Excadrill, because you can break through it both with grass moves, Focus Blast, all that sort of stuff, and also Landorus as well. So maybe we might see a sort of surprise special attack for maybe either one of those, or maybe even just playing around by using the rest of his team and try to break through that.
And plus the Dragapult too, that'll be a E1 for Renk to have to monitor.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be a easy team to get past, but I think Renk should have enough.
Well, let's see about that. I'll let you guys commentate this one. It's the Buenos Aires Ninetales up against zlord in Matchday 2.
The leadoff matchup is Enamorous and Tinglu, which seems a bit even. Vessel of Ruin does ruin the special attack for now.
I think it should have Excadrill. Excadrill should have it.
Moonblast. Ruination does get through the substitute, does a flat amount of damage. And another Moonblast does a huge amount of damage. But Enamorous is now down to a small amount of health, recovers a little with the Citrus Berry. Gets in another substitute as Ruination breaks it. Does not break it this time.
Oh yeah, because of the special attack.
Okay.
Very
No,
good.
because it's a fixed amount of damage. Then the Moonblast, down it goes. But goes
Oh,
straight
yeah.
into Tangrowth. This I don't get.
Oh.
As another special attack drop, but the Sludge Bomb does break the sub. It's a bit risky though. You still need to keep it alive for the rest of the team. A second Sludge Bomb comes in, bounces off Hydreigon, but it
Why
stays in
did
and
he
takes the
switch?
Fire Blast.
Why did he switch?
And down goes the big Sludge. And now Dragapult comes in, the Tyranitar as well. Can even
Focus
pursue
blast.
here,
Oh.
but it's not
Ooh.
Dragapult.
That was
It's
unlucky.
Zoroark.
That was
And the
unlucky.
Focus Blast goes through
Yeah.
this
But
time. But
the
that would have been
exited.
such a big surprise.
The exited. Oh no, Hydreigon.
Oh, well, Hydreigon again.
Oh, it's
Dark
fast.
Pulse.
Oh, it's illusion.
Yeah.
Damn.
And now,
Really fast.
well, you can't terrestrialize, so that's an automatic loss. But I don't think it would matter much because Renk is in such a huge position, such a huge lead, and I don't think he'll bottle it this time. As Mega Mawile gets the Microphone. Oh my goodness! No sucker punch.
Intimidate.
Whoa.
What a massive amount of damage. Lilligant comes in, but it can still kind of. Oh, it misses.
Oh dear.
I mean, this battle's already over.
I mean, yeah, it misses again. Here comes the Leaf Blade. It's not enough. And down it goes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think.
And the
that's
funny
just-
thing is that without the Sandstorm, there was a realistic chance that he could have came back from all that. But it wouldn't have
Yeah.
mattered because he terrestrialized and the game was over anyways.
Yeah, but I think the way he played around, I mean, sacking Tangrowth that early, I don't get that at all. I think he also had, I think the Pokemon, I think it was Hydreigon as well. So you do have someone, yeah, like even if you don't have a good match, a good Pokemon which is not a good type matchup for it, Tangrowth's still probably your best way of getting back into the game. So I don't understand sacking it that early. But yeah, I kind of
so
thought
don't,
yeah,
I understand the
like-
sludge
oh.
bomb, but I think the problem was the substitute. I think Lily Giant had the least room for impact, so I'd probably would have gone on for her to take out the substitute and then let the team do the rest.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
well, like I said at the end, like if Lilligant really did have the chance to kind of come back against Renk, given that like if Hydreigon wasn't scarfed, which I believe it was, he can tell us if it is. Was it scarfed?
Who?
Did Hydreigon have choice scarf?
Yeah, the Hydreigon was scarred.
Yeah.
It was
Well, it did
faster
have
than
scarf, so it
the
would have been
Dragon
moot.
Bolt.
But even if it didn't, let's just say it didn't, there still was a really good chance he could have just came back and kind of like ripped through the entire team there.
Yeah.
I think really what the big mistakes were really just like that defensive core of Tinglu and Tangrowth, letting that go early instead of something else. And also maybe they do or don't know, but like you could have went Dragapult there because it had
Yeah.
Infiltrator would have ignored the substitute, so you would have just been able to hit it with the
Mhm.
Shadow Ball and you would have been all right. But then it also leaves
Yeah.
you a bit subject to like pursuit trapping by Tyranitar as well, so you kind of have to be a bit careful of that. So,
Yeah.
but I think we can all agree that the big mistake was like letting the defense kind of fall apart early.
I mean, the biggest mistake was terrestrializing because that meant the battle was over already.
I mean that obviously. Still, I think I had that one in the bag already, but
Yeah.
still I thought it was a bit shaky on my end because I had obviously many plans to take out Tinglu and Tangrowth because, like Spectre was saying, I thought it was like the defensive core that would annoy my team the most. Tinglu especially, I was scratching my head around for like a solid 20 minutes in front of the computer just trying to figure out what I could do against it. Decided to just go with Enamorous and just wing it. And it ended up working there at the start. But I think that if zlord had played in a way in which he made it more difficult for me to take out his defensive core, we could have been in a long dance where I'm just trying to get into a position where I can get some damage. And yeah, it would have gotten pretty annoying. And yeah, like you were hinting at, the moment I once again let Tyranitar go too quickly, which I think is a mistake that I will try to not make again, because losing Tyranitar like that just to get off some momentum meant that I couldn't get a second Sandstorm off, and that meant that Excadrill was no longer a win condition for me. And yeah, if things had played out a bit different, I could have seen zlord make a comeback. I was getting a bit scared at the end that I would bottle it again because I didn't have enough to take out the rest of zlord's team, but in the end, ended up working out. And yeah, I get a much needed victory, but I think I'm going to have to play better than that for the upcoming fixtures for sure.
A Spectre, seeing as Seb had Dragapult, I just referring to the notes of other moves it can use, and if it had Infiltrator and it could go up against Enormous, I think the only move that would have been able to use would have been Steel Wing.
No, I mean, neutral Shadow Ball is also pretty strong there, especially with how low it
Stab
is.
as well.
So, yeah, I mean, and plus you usually don't use physical Dragapult because it just doesn't have good Ghost Stab, and Dragon Stab really starts clunking into everything now. So,
Indeed. So that was the first battle from Group C. The other battle from Group C is going to be a battle between two of our English players. It's going to be Slither up against Psykick. Very anticipated matchup. Two players that know each other very well. And, Psykick coming off a heartbreaking loss in the first match day up against zlord, while Slither is here making his Season 5 debut. Slither's team is going to be the Hisuian Samurott, the Mega Diancie, Cerulege, B-Sharp, Breloom, and Latios up against Psychick's Thunderous Therian, Garchomp, Amoonguss, Clefable, Mega Gyarados, and Hitmontop making an appearance as well. Mats, as you were excited for this matchup, can you break down the teams for me?
Yeah. I think Slither's probably got a slightly stronger team, given that Samurott has a very dangerous attack. Bishop not only under you performed very well, but it has Eviolite as well, and then Latios, of course, is dangerous, and I believe this Diancie is the mega one. But Psychick himself has some strong Pokemon. Thunderous T, one I'm very familiar with. It doesn't have a lot of coverage, but it's still very effective. Garchomp 2, and Clefable, good defensive Pokemon, and providing there's no electric moves, Gyarados can also be a big game player. My thinking was that Psychick would win, but this is also a good opportunity for Slither to potentially get his first win.
Of course, yeah. Slither has been around with us for 3 seasons, and the only win that he has picked up so far was a forfeit, so he's still yet to get a victory on the field itself. And Psychick, somebody that has shown a lot of promise, but has also shown to be a bit iffy at closing out endgame, so we're going to have to see how this one plays out. It's the Eternal Emperors up against Pokélondor here in Group C, and the leads are going to be the Cerulege up against the Garchomp. Earthquake comes through right off the gate.
There's a weakness
and the
armor.
weak armor.
Oh my god.
And gets
And
a
the
sword
Swords
stance.
and
And it
now
could be over this quickly.
It's a problem. It's faster even than the
Poltergeist.
Garchomp with the Choice Scarf, and the Poltergeist takes it out, but Hitmontop
It's
comes
a
in to
sucker
revenge
punch,
with the Sucker Punch. And what a bloody start to the battle. It's a 1-for-1 out of the gates. The Luster Porch is good damage onto the Clefable. Has to switch out away from this Moonblast most likely, but the Thunder Wave
Good
instead.
Thunder Wave there.
The Iron Head surely here.
Hitmontop comes through.
Hitmontop
No
gets a
Intimidate
full
from
para.
the Hitmontop. Full para. And
That's
the
a
Triple
tri-
Axle comes through.
Triple
It's a great
prediction.
prediction, but the Triple Axle
Once.
misses.
Misses the second one.
And that's not able to take out the Latios. And
Oh my
now
God.
this is a lot of damage
The
onto the
Luster-
Thunderous. Goes down to 2. And Slither is in the lead.
Last approach.
Oh, what an unfortunate miss on the triple axel. The Moonblast comes through, gets the special attack drop, and that means it's a defiant boost for this B-Sharp. Another Moonblast comes through,
It's a
but the
full
full
para.
para. And now he couldn't move. The
Has
Sucker
to go
Punch is
for a
not going to
Sucker
do a lot of
Punch, but-
damage because this
Oh.
Clefable is
Think-
unaware, so this attack
It's
There's
not
boost
nothing
don't
fire
but fire
matter.
boost.
I think he should have just gone for
It's
Iron
another
Head.
fire boost. No, and the
And now it
B-Sharp
goes-
goes down.
Or knock off the
Oh, the
leftovers
Yancy
if it has
coming.
it.
Oh yeah.
The
Mega Dance
it's a
comes
con
through.
lined up. But now here
Yeah.
comes hidden
Super
power.
effective hidden
Oh.
power into the
And
Among
Giga
Us.
Giga
A
Drain
lot of
does a
damage.
lot of damage,
Big
but doesn't recover much health.
Clefable. It is worth
Goes for
noting
another hidden power.
might have
Kind of bounces
unaware.
off Clefable here.
Meteor Beam.
Meteor
Moonlight?
Beam, but it's a bit risky.
Well,
Yeah, without the
It does a
power, because you
lot.
have the Mega Stone, that's a lot of damage, but now you're boosting your special attack in front of Unaware. Calm Mind, he's unaware.
oh dear.
He doesn't
He's
know.
unaware
and
of the
Moonblast
unaware.
does a lot of damage. The hidden power, that's absolutely nothing. It doesn't matter that you're +3 because this Clefable doesn't
Oh.
care. And the Mega Diancie goes down to another Moonblast, and now Psychick's on the lead. Luster Porch gets the special defense drop. And now we're going to have to see who's faster. Even Paralyzed Latios is faster, and because of the special defense drop, this
Okay.
Luster Porch is enough. But now Mega Gyarados come through, and the crunch is going to be enough to take out the Latios. And Slither is down to his
Breloom.
final two. Breloom comes through, gets up a Ball
Cup.
Cup,
That's
and
brave.
gets poisoned by the Toxicorp to get poison heal.
It's for
The
fun.
Facade
not
boosted
enough.
by the status is not enough damage, and the Sludge Bomb
Oh.
takes out the Breloom. Here comes Samuro to take out the Among Us, but it's all alone in front of this Hitmontop. It's lower
is
than the Hitmontop, and the close
and
combat
close
comes
combat will end.
through. And that's it. Psychick gets his first victory of the tournament, 2-0 over Slither.
I mean, I think if he was just aware of the unaware, and I think if he went for the, I think going for, I get why he did it, but I think he should have just showed a bit of balls, gone for Iron Head back to back, and I think one of them would have landed and would have been huge on a Clefable as well. So I think if he did those two things, then yeah, I think definitely could have won the battle.
Yeah, there were chances there because Slither was in the lead at some point, and like you were saying, an Iron Head would have been a lot of damage. I don't know if it would have been enough for a KO because obviously the Unaware would have ignored the stat boost from the B-Sharp, but it still would have been a lot of damage onto that Clefable. And yeah, it wasn't meant to be for Slither once again, but Psychic gets a massive victory for his chances of surviving the group, now 1-on-1, while Slither is 0-1, still with a game in hand. But
I think the Clefable would have been invested on the physical defense, considering it took more damage from a Luster Purge than it did with the physical attacks.
Indeed. Stressful battle, and I mean that leaves everything absolutely open in Group C. Group C looks crazy at the moment. All of the groups are pretty tight, but Group C is looking extra spicy. In my opinion, we're going to have to see how that one plays out, because I think it was the group that everybody least expected to be close, and in the end, it's proving to be one of the most exciting, and that's obviously really, really good for the tournament. For now, we're going to move on.
That was a
to
great
Group B.
watch.
Yeah, I think that was a great battle, highly anticipated one. And another highly anticipated one is going to be Doodle up against GameboyShadow. Doodle coming off a massive victory against Spectre in Matchday 1, while GameboyShadow took a loss to Ayush in the first Matchday.
Heavy
so
one
looking
too.
to bounce back. Yeah, so we're going to have to see how he recovers against that, against a very experienced trainer, the OG champion Doodle. Doodle here coming with the Grimmsnarl, the Iron Bundle, the Mega Medicham, the Great Tusk, Tank Growth, and Hisuian Gudra up against GameboyShadow's Bikeable, Jirachi, Enamorous Incarnate, Manaphy, Tornadoes Incarnate, 2 genies, and the Iron Boulder. Titanes, looking at the two teams, where do you think the keys of the battle could land?
Well, yeah, I think I think Gudra Hisui, very good Pokemon. Like it's a Steel Dragon in such a good type matchup. I think Grimmsnarl with its with its unique fairy and dog typing can be very dangerous as well. I think Iron Treads obviously it gets Rapid Spin, and it's one of the most expensive Pokemon. So we all know how good it is. Mega Medicham, one of the more underrated megas, I'd say. And then Tangrowth, I think we saw. Of course, Zlord did underutilize it a bit, but we all talk about how dangerous it can potentially be. And then GameboyShadow with his team, I think it's a bit weak on paper, but still have some good Pokemon. I think you have, Jirachi there, who you can sort of, you could just put a scarf on it and go for a Sitting Grace and just try to spam flinches. Namorous was one of the better, I think, genies. Manaphy, 100. It's a bit unpredictable because it has 100 in all of its stats, so you don't know what he might invest into it. And I think overall two very good matchups. And I think if Doodle wins this one, then he had put himself in a very good position to advance.
Obviously, it would be massive for Doodle to pick up a victory here, but games still have to be played, so we're gonna take a look at how this one plays out. Let's see what the leads are here between Doodle and GameboyShadow. Grimmsnarl is gonna go up against Jirachi, and the parting shot straight out of the gates to lower its attacks and go into the Goodra. Psychic Nose bites off. It's basically nothing. And Amorous is going to have to switch in. The curse on the Goodra going to boost its attack and its defense. And now this Goodra is a problem. You go for the superpower with the contrary.
Get the defense boost, so maybe it might do something.
But the Heavy Slam, it's still a one-shot even with the defense boost on the Enamorous, and it goes down. It's a kill to Goodra. Iron Boulder gets the speed boost from the Orc Drive. Sacred Sword bounces off.
Megahorn, that's a lot.
Also super effective damage, but it's not enough. Knockoff. There's nothing to knock off.
Mighty
Flea, not enough damage, and this Iron Boulder is taking itself out.
Very good move to have.
And the recover was great from Doodle, just heals off. Vikavolt comes in, great toss. Damage steal from the Air Slash.
That was very smart, actually.
But Vikavolt switches out. The rocks go up on the side of Doodle.
Iron Bundle.
One Pokemon.
Back to bundle. You have to be a bit wary of the
Light Screen is great. Light Screen is great in front of the Iron Boulder.
Light Screen is good. Tangrowth now.
Thunder Wave. Tangrowth is now paralyzed. Doom Desire is an interesting
What does that do?
It hits in two turns. Yeah, Steel type Future Fight, the signature move of Jirachi.
Okay.
And that's huge air flash. And the flinch. Doom Desire from the go.
Hits.
Oh my god, that was brilliant.
Now the curse from the Goodra once again, but the GameboyShadow has equaled the Pokemon lead. Ball switch to go into something else.
Tornadoes. I don't get that.
Superpower, but this one doesn't have contrary.
Heavy Slam.
And the Heavy Slam comes through, and with the defense drop is enough.
Oh, wow.
And Goodra once again takes another one-hit knockout with the Heavy Slam. Psychic now is going to do absolutely nothing. This Goodra is just so tanky. Body Press comes through. It's good damage to the Jirachi.
Another one, but
the Psychic Noise is still not enough. And the Body Press takes out the Jirachi. Goodra has taken 3 kills now. And GameboyShadow is down to his final 3. The Ice Beam finally is going to take down this Goodra. It's 4-3 now. The Freeze Strike comes through. It's a lot of damage onto the Manaphy. The Light Screen. It's not going to save you. It's not going to save you. No, Iron Boulder barely survives, but the Iron Boulder is faster and takes out the Iron Boulder. Vikavolt is everything that GameboyShadow has left. And Doodle is free to switch into the Grimmsnarl Discharge. Not a lot of damage. Gets the paralysis at least. Let's see if he can play through this one. It's going to be a bit of a slow end game.
Oh, yeah.
Doodle just playing this one by the book, setting up the Light Screen so that the Machamp.
Surprisingly doing next to nothing now.
Fake because of the Light Screen.
Helmet, obvious, well, can't really do much there.
Headbutt is so damage.
Gets a Discharge. That's not enough.
Not enough.
Needs a miss or something, but you can't miss Poison Jab. And that's it.
Doodle commanding 4-0 victory, playing it safe there at the end, as you should. And another great victory for Doodle.
Yeah, I think it was a good battle, but and I was impressed by GameboyShadow at times, but that Psychic Noise, I just don't get it. Why? Like, I think he wasted 3 to 4 turns on that, which could have who knows? I mean, it could have completely turned the battle around. Apart from that, he played well, but that really confused me, the Psychick noise.
Yeah, I think that towards the end, he just kind of ran out of options to take out the Hisuian Gudra. I think that he didn't have enough in the tank to get that in the end. And yeah, we see how sometimes a lack of preparation can be enough to take over the entire battle. If you don't have enough to deal with one specific Pokemon, it can turn the entire battle around. And we saw here, just like Tizanes has hinted at so many times, the preparation can be as or even more important than the battle itself. And if you don't have answers to a specific one, you're going to get rolled over. And we saw how that Gudra was able to do so much damage at the start, taking out both Genies and the Jirachi. Amazing stuff from Doodle, and moves up to 2-0. Well, that was a long streak of replays. That is all the replays that we have for you guys today. We still have a live battle that we're waiting on. Spectre, do you have any updates on that?
Last I checked, Savutian was still having some technical difficulties. He's playing from his phone, so there's like a lot of stuff that goes on there because you lose your connection all the time every time you like switch apps and all that sort of stuff. Still waiting on him. He said that he was hopping on, is like he's working on importing his team right now, though.
Okay, fair enough. We're gonna wait on Savutian then, who is gonna have to play up against Spectre, obviously. That's gonna be a big matchup because obviously Spectre, you started off with a loss on match day 1, and now you have to bounce back. While Sabu still yet to make his debut, so both trainers looking for their first victory in Group D, and I think it's gonna be a massive one. I don't know how you are approaching this after the result from match day 1.
Well, I think like regardless of if I won or lost, I was going to like approach this a bit more with a lot of care, either because it could secure the playoffs or I have to stay alive here. I think especially since the end of last season, Savutian, he went up to me, he said, I want to get better. I mean, especially with like I think with how frustrating his group stage was last season, and I don't because he was definitely in the group with that because he had myself, he had AEL, he did really well against, and he also had Willow, who he did pretty well against as well. It's just that now he's getting closer to kind of like converting playing well onto the score sheet. So, and that's when I'm obviously glad to see that he's been improving, and I think that the matchup I'm going to have is not going to be easy. It's not easy battling anybody here, but it's going to be a lot more difficult battling him now compared to the last season.
Yeah, I agree. I think that one of the main takeaways that we had from this season is that you cannot underestimate anybody. On match day 1, we saw a lot of upsets. We saw a few upsets here in match day 2 as well, but I think that the main takeaway is that with all of the power level being so high because of all the new Pokemon that have been added this season, makes it so that basically everyone has a good team and everybody has scary Pokemon that you have to look out for. And yeah, that makes it very difficult to prepare. And you just have to be aware of so many different stuff when you come into a battle. We don't have the lineups, but what we do have are the teams if we were to make like a mini preview of what this battle would look like. So here on the right, we see Team LeBron James of soccer, coached by Savutian. A lot of strong Pokemon. Like the Tapu Koko and the Mega Lopunny are both so incredibly fast and strong. One on the Lopunny, especially on the physical side, just basically hits everything, while Tapu Koko can be mixed, can set up the electric terrain and kind of dance its way around. King Gambit and Chiyu also a lot of damage, and then you have defensive pieces like the Toxapex, the Gliscor, the Slowbro. Like Savutian, I think, has a very balanced team. It's all about how he uses it, in my opinion. Well, obviously, Spectre's team, we've kind of already seen some of it, but I think you also have some amazing tools in the Corviknight, the Clefable, the Regieleki. Regieleki is kind of like a pseudo Tapu Koko because it kind of does the same thing, being a super fast electric type that dances its way around. Garchomp incredibly strong. So I think we're in for a very, very close battle, depending on what the lineups look like and who performs better on the day, basically.
Because Savutian's only ever win in this tournament, I believe, has come against Eli Bongo in Season 3.
Yeah, I think that might be correct. And I mean, that is a big victory. Like, Eli is one of our better trainers, one of our most consistent as well. And obviously, I think that Spectre is most likely the favorite coming into this one, but that doesn't mean that you can write Sabu off, someone who's been with us for a few seasons as well and has shown steady improvement, because over the seasons we've seen that sometimes maybe he gets unlucky with the draw, or sometimes the battle doesn't exactly go his way, but just like Spectre was hinting at before, he wants to get better. He wants to actually reflect his performances onto the results. And yeah, excited to see if that can be the case today and throughout the tournament. So I don't know. I'm excited for this one. I think that so far the matches have been, for the most part, we have not seen a lot of one-sided battles as we used to see in previous group stages.
No.
And I think we're in for potentially another close one here.
Yeah, but I think the only battle... Sorry, go on, Spectre.
Hold on, I'm sending the link in right now.
Okay.
Sent it to the chat,
amazing.
and I'm about to send it within. Yeah, I'm sending it everywhere right now.
Okay.
And I'd
Great.
like to mention that Matt's will be joining us shortly. He just had a bit of a cutout for his internet, I believe.
Okay, fair enough.
Alright.
Okay,
I'll mute you guys now.
so yeah,
Right.
I'll
Good luck.
put Spectre here in the background, and we're gonna jump right into this one. The live battle of today is gonna be Spectre up against Savutian, and we have the lineups over here. On the side of Spectre is gonna be the Rotom Wash, Blissey, Volcarona, Corviknight, Regieleki, and Garchomp against Sabu's Mega Lopunny, King Gambit, Toxapex, Slowbro, Delmice, and Tapu Koko. With a lot of the talking points that we mentioned, like the defensive core of Sabu looks really scary, and the offensive with Mega Lopunny, Tapu Koko, and King Gambit is also incredibly scary. So very balanced teams, both of them, I think.
Yeah, I think that's low pro on Toxapex. It feels like Savutian wants to make Spectre quit the game with that. Because two regenerated Pokemons are very. We've seen in the past how overpowered Regenerator is as an ability in this format.
Yeah, I think that the only problem there for Sabu is that both of those defensive pieces are water types. And so I wonder how he's going to deal with the Regieleki then. The Regieleki feels like it can just basically ball switch everything on Sabu's
By the
team.
way, Matt is back.
Okay, let me bring Matt's back. As we see the lineups, the two electric types are going to come in. Regieleki against Tapu Koko. And the electric terrain goes up, boosting both of their moves. I'm going to see, obviously, Regieleki is the faster one here.
Yep, faster Pokemon.
We're going to see what it decides to go for. Regieleki doesn't have a wide mode pool. Basically, all of its moves are electric types, but then it can set up screens. There's the ball switch. It's so much damage onto the Tapu Koko. Is that Specs or like Magnet or something?
Brilliant.
We see a trade of ball switches, but it bounces off the Blissey, and that's already so much damage onto the Tapu Koko. That's a great start from Spectre.
I think that Regieleki might have Specs or something, because doing that much damage is to an electric type.
Yeah, obviously,
I think this is a switch to King Gambit or Lopunny.
Probably.
Yeah, I think Lopunny makes sense. Yeah. This is the good part about having the slower ball switch, is that you can decide what the next matchup is. It's going to be the King Gambit. That's also a fine option. You hit Blissey on the physical side, but I'm sure that Spectre has prepared for this. Oh, he tried to switch and the Pursuit comes through. It's a lot of damage onto the Blissey. That's great from Sabu. Lots of damage into the Blissey, and obviously Blissey can heal up with Soft Boiled, but if Sabu manages to catch the Blissey on the switch, that defensive piece could be removed. So now you
Corviknight.
probably have to look out for a bulk up and body press set
Yeah.
on the Corviknight if you are Savutian. You do have defensive pieces like Toxapex, I believe, walls that. Slowbro shoot as well.
Yeah. I mean, Dalmais as well, ghost type.
Yeah, Toxapex, yeah, that makes sense. Body press is gonna bounce off. Good switch from Savu. Has the black sludge to heal itself up.
What
Scald?
would go for them? Yeah, it could do, but I mean,
Scald could be fine. It feels relatively safe, and maybe you fish for a burn. Has
Yeah.
30%
Oh,
chance
yeah.
to burn, so it's something that you can play around, definitely. Or maybe you set up spikes or toxic spikes or something if you're feeling
To
like
be
it.
fair, Spectre doesn't have a Pokemon that could.
Well,
I think,
Regieleki does get rapid spin, for
and
example,
I
if
think,
hazards were
I
to
think
go up.
Corviknight does get defog, I believe.
Toxic.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's
he has like moves that he can remove, but that requires a move. Whereas like a poison type, if once it hits the field, toxic spikes are instantly eliminated.
So this is what we talked about. How do you stop ball switch here? Delmise comes through, gets a
No,
critical
big-
hit, so
big crit.
much damage onto the Delmise,
Very big crit.
and this is
But
a
I think
real
it-
problem for Savu.
No, but I think it should survive because the electric rains down without a crit.
Yeah, it's gonna be close, but the problem is Delmise was your main answer to the electric type, so even if
healing?
Thunderbolt doesn't kill, if you don't take out this Regieleki, it kind of just wrecks through your team. You have nothing to resist it. We saw that even the Tapu Koko. Yeah, I agree, Sabu. This is a really bad position to be in because this Regieleki just kind of takes everything out. Having no ground type kind of makes it so Regieleki just breaks through your team.
I mean, what moves? Because I mean, Regieleki is very fragile. So if you can just land a good move on it, then the toxic might take it out. Ooh.
Okay, Spectre decides not to risk the Thunderbolt, goes for the Bolt Switch. I like that as well.
Maybe its item was
the
magnet.
miss on the Poltergeist doesn't
It's very
connect on the
unlucky.
Garchomp, adding
Got
salt
unlucky
to
back.
the wound. That you hate to see it. Unfortunately,
I
on the
feel
side
for
of
him.
Savu.
I feel for him.
Okay, how do you get back into this? You probably have to go into Slowbro. You don't have a lot of. Your team is so weak to ground as well. You have 3 ground weaknesses, and Lopunny is not exactly bulky, so you probably have to go into Slowbro. Here comes Slowbro. The Earthquake is still at a lot of damage. Okay, how do you play around this? Rotom is gonna come through. Ice Beam, yeah, but Spectre saw that coming a miles away.
And again, the electric.
And yeah, you have no switches into the Volt Switch. You probably have to go into King Gambit at this point. It's tough out here for Savu. That crit on the Thunderbolt was so large because the Delmise is basically out of commission already. And
he could probably let go of. You could probably let go of Lopunny and have King Gambit finish off the rest of Blissey.
I think
you cannot let Lopunny go down. It's basically your only win condition. Here, Sabo tried to sack the Delmise for momentum, but instead, Spectre going for the Nasty Plot, and now this Rotom is a problem.
I don't see. I mean, I don't. It's.
Well, you probably have to sack the Delmise here.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's the Thunderbolt. Delmise goes down. That's the first knockout. And now you probably have to go into either
Lopunny will be faster.
Yeah, Lopunny will be faster, but I don't think it's gonna take out the Rotom in one hit. Rotom has really
and it's very fragile.
So we're gonna have to see. Savutian also has to come back from the mental hole that he's digging himself into. Here's Tapu Koko. It's gonna be faster at least, but even if you get a ball switch off, then Rotom is gonna get a hit into whatever comes in next. So it's kind of rough out here for Sabu. Have to see what the reply is.
I think if he goes for an electric type move, and then I think he could take out the Rotom in the next turn with Lopunny, even though Tapu Koko will go down.
Yeah, Thunderbolt comes
Yeah,
through. It's
good
a lot of
damage,
damage. The Hydro Pump misses.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's your avenue back into the
Okay.
game. They
Okay.
miss on the Hydro Pump. Now the game is gone. Says
Yeah.
utter woke nonsense. How dare
See,
they?
this is what we
put
like about
80%
live battles,
accuracy
these
on that?
interactions. This is what we like about.
Yeah, exactly. This is what we're here for. Just this is like the coaches are on the sidelines and they are like screaming stuff at each other. All the games on the pitch. Thunderbolt comes through and the Rotom goes down and the Pokemon lead has been equal. It's 5-5.
But
I still
the
think
Regieleki,
that this
how
Regieleki
do
is
you
a
deal with
problem.
this thing? Because
Yeah, this is the problem.
Okay, I think I think with a low roll, can it survive with a low roll?
I just think the Thunderbolt is so safe from Spectre. If you don't want to risk the roll, Thunderbolt just kind of does infinite damage to everything and takes out this Tapu Koko as well. So this is a really difficult situation for Sabu, but I don't know. There's always room for Spectre to make a mistake as well. Spectre is not a robot; he's a human after all. But yeah, I agree. This is very dangerous. How do you deal with the electric type move that you know it's coming? You know it's coming, but you can't stop it because Regieleki is so fast. Desperate situation for Sabu. Let's see how he decides to deal with it. I wonder, probably if you let Tapu Koko go down and you go into Lopunny, I don't know if Lopunny can even live as Thunderbolt in the electric terrain.
You might have to sack 2 Pokemon.
Ball switch. Oh, doesn't get the roll. Doesn't get the roll. Okay, I think that's a mistake from Spectre. I think the Thunderbolt was safe there.
Okay.
Blissey.
No Blissey.
Oh, not enough damage. Okay, but Tapu Koko can stay in and take it out.
Here you go for Dazzling Gleam.
Thunderbolt. Okay. Blissey's down.
He's taking the lead.
Yep, but Regieleki comes here to reclaim that lead instantly. Ball switch.
But importantly, the electric terrain, it could be gone, or is it not? It's gone, yeah.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone forever because Tapu Koko has gone down, and here comes Ball Corona.
Did you go top
You don't have
here?
2 types. Yeah, or Slowbro. Both are fine options. Yeah, probably Toxapex, so you're not weak to the Bug Boss. Yeah, you're right.
I think Rock move would be nice, but I think it's very unlikely that Lopunny has a Rock type move.
Yeah, I would be inclined to agree. You probably have to go into Toxapex and try to Toxic this. If you don't have Liquidation, that is. Even if you have Liquidation, it's risky because you may be burned by the flame body of the Bull Corona.
Yeah, but I mean, from Spectre's perspective, the Quiver Dance is so open here.
Yeah.
Toxapex X does have haze.
Yeah, it does. Let's see if Sabu decided to pack that one in here. The problem is this Regieleki is still such a big win condition on the side of Spectre. I feel like you probably go for the Liquidation, and if Spectre switches into the Regieleki, you do some damage to it and stocks up with the poison. But you're in a really difficult situation here. I don't know how you deal with that Regieleki.
I think in this battle would have been without question over if it wasn't for that Toxic on Regieleki.
Safeguard protects itself from the Toxic. Red like a bull.
Oh my god. I never see it used as well.
Remind me what that does.
It prevents status conditions for 4 turns for your entire team. And there's the Quiver Dance. Skull comes through. Yeah, it bounces off now that there's a special defense boost. This is rough out here. Did you bring haste? He brought haste. It's saved. Takes out the stat boost. Amazing preparation from Sabu. Regieleki comes through.
In. Go for the move. Okay.
Bit of damage.
Now protect.
Oh yeah, if you have Baneful Banker to stall out a turn of poison, you probably have to protect it.
Is it possible for Baneful Banker to go to reactive twice in a row?
I think it's just like protect. It has a 30% chance every time. Sabu, I agree. I think you probably could have seen that coming in your preparation. The thing is, you always have Sucker Punch on the King Gambit. You could have Fatal on the Lopunny as well for priority in front of the Regieleki. So I don't think this game is out of Sabu's hands if he plays it correctly.
But the thing is, they have to take a hit from this thing.
Yeah. I think if you have Baneful Banker. You probably have to use it this turn to stall out another turn of poison. Oh, he doesn't. And the Thunderbolt
He didn't
takes
have
out
it. I think that's
the
bad.
Tox
I
Apex
think.
right away. I
King
think
Gambit,
he-
surely.
Yeah, King Gambit, then
Sucker
probably
Punch.
Sucker Punch.
But I think Lopunny
Then
does
the
not
switch
have
is
a.
so free.
I think it has a. Oh no, but I think the Sucker Punch, I think there's more damage. No, but I think
Yeah.
Fake Out. I think Fake Out could be a bit safer because if you get a Fake Out off, then then it goes down to Toxic in the next turn.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Oh yeah, good point.
But King Gambit is going to come here. Has the Supreme Overlord, and with 3 falling Pokemon, he's doing 30% more damage. So this King Gambit is very, very scary right now. Thunder Wave.
What does Fallen do?
Yeah, that's why.
Oh no! You know what's the worst
I
part?
think-
He hadn't gone for Sucker
Yeah, that's why
Punch because
Fake
he
Out would
moved
have
slower.
been. Fake Out would have been a better move. That's why.
Yeah, it's true. He didn't have to play that mind game, but that's so sad because he hadn't gone for Sucker Punch. He had gone for a normal move and it got
But
fully
I
paralyzed.
think that's a bad move as well because I think Sucker Punch is the safer move.
Yeah, you probably go for Sucker Punch now. Oh, he didn't go for Sucker Punch, and that's a lot of damage already.
But why not?
Pursuit! And the red
Yeah, but
Select
what's
goes
the
down.
point? Because you've already taken 50% damage.
Yeah. Yeah, that is tough. I mean, the bad part was that he got fully paralyzed here. He wouldn't
Ooh.
have taken all that damage if it wasn't for that. And yeah, now you have to look out for
Now
another
the
body
body
press. You
cut.
still have your slow, bro.
Okay.
This is not unplayable. Like, this slow, bro, is saving Sabu so hard against Spectre's team right now.
Oh yeah, because the Ice Beam and the Water type moves about Corona.
Yep. Body press, gonna bounce off. I
think a
wonder,
Toxic
like,
free
if...
game.
Toxic.
Oh, sorry, no, I think. Wait, does not. Oh, sorry. Does it have any status type moves? I think a Thunder Wave. I think the God Jump. Yeah.
I feel like you probably either go for the Scald or the Ice Beam. I think Scald is pretty safe here because you can fish for a burn on Corviknight or Garchomp and super effective damage on the...
Oh no.
Okay, does he get the burn? No burn.
Okay, that is tough.
Still, the body press was not doing a lot of damage to the Slowbro as it was, so I think you can just stay here and click Scald forever if you're Sabu. Another Iron Defense comes through. Scald. Fishing for that burn. Doesn't get the burn.
He needs that burn.
Now, here comes the Roost to heal itself up. Yeah, and just Scald. There's the burn.
That's massive.
So now body press's damage is reduced by half. I think that Sabu can have this if this Lopunny has Ice Punch for the Garchomp. It's going to be faster. Scald comes through. It's a lot of damage. Ooh, Spectre is in a tough situation here. He can Roost up and survive another one.
Yeah, but
I wonder at some point, I think that if you're Sabu, you switch out. No, you cannot because it's +4 defense. Nothing is going to take it out. Oh, that's a mistake from Spectre, and now it's gone down. Wait, Sabu is in the lead.
Wait, I think
Sabu is 3-2 in the lead. Ooh,
Matt's is back in the back there.
Oh wait, Matt's had left. I was watching the... Okay, sorry, my bad.
Okay, now good to have you back, Matt. Savutian is now in the lead, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't understand that body press from Corviknight.
Yeah, I think he should have just gone for Roost.
Yeah, you probably have to try to stall out. You can PP stall if you're Spectre there. You can Roost. You only have 6 Roosts left. You probably don't have enough.
Ooh.
Quiver Dance, super effective. Scald is big damage, but not enough.
I think
the thing is, you can, even if you go down to Bug Boss, you still have Sucker Punch on the King Gambit. I hope it has Sucker Punch. If it doesn't have Sucker Punch, then the game's gone. If you don't have King Gambit in
if
Slowbro
goes down, what's
Does he get the crit? No crit.
Okay.
So Volcarona survives. Volcarona does get Roost as well.
If Slowbro goes down, what's Savutian's answer to Garchomp?
Ice Punch on Lopunny, I imagine.
It should have it.
Okay.
Quiver Dance. That's greedy. That's greedy from Spectre. That's he get a hero. The critical hit. The critical hit against Spice.
It's over.
The defenses.
Oh,
this should be over. Swords Dance, but here comes the Ice Beam. Super effective.
Focus
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh!
Taken down Spectre. Spectre!
Now that is what I call a remontada.
Holy crap! Wow!
Dude, Spectre and Seb going 2 losses in the first. What is this tournament?
What is this tournament indeed? Oh no! I thought Spectre had that in the bag for sure. That looked so rough for Sabu out there after Delmice went down, and he had no answer for the Regieleki. But I think Spectre maybe playing a bit careless with his
Yeah, I
pieces,
think-
not
I
taking
think
care of the Regieleki, not taking care of the Blissey or the Corviknight. Everything just went down, and yeah, eventually Sabu was able to break through.
So I think he's established himself result-wise as more than just an Eli Bungo merchant.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Uh,
Wow, man. Well, GG Spectre, commiserations on the loss. Tough battle out there. What were your feelings through the middle where it felt like you were in the lead and eventually it slipped out of control?
I think really it's just because, I mean, obviously Savutian played very well. Like I said, like he said he wanted to get better. I mean, proof he's got better. I think really when I saw like how much damage that Tapu Koko's Thunderbolt did to Blissey, I thought that maybe I could dance around that, I could get the soft foiled, and I think I'd be fine and kind of run through and win. I think it just overall he played much better than I did. Obviously, of course, he had another Hydro Pump miss when it mattered most, but you can't really
Yeah.
blame that. And I think really, but also at the end, with the whole like the critical hit at the end, I think that's obviously kind of inevitable when you're just playing a game statistics like that. He played very well. I mean, Savutian, don't doubt him. He's done he's going to he's done well. He's going to do better. I think really just my I think handling Regieleki kind of didn't go well. I think I probably should have been a bit more aggressive when I could have been. I think when Corviknight really got burned at the end, and even that was inevitable as well. The game kind of just ended right there because I knew I'd have to like get like really lucky with like not getting like crit by any sorts of scalds or anything like that, and that just you're just playing with the inevitability by then. Um, I changed the set at the very last moment to do something that could really like handle Toxapex, but then Pex really handled Volcar on the back with the haze. So I knew I had to like go around and beat that because I didn't want to risk Garchomp getting burnt too early as well.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy because it felt like Sabu didn't have enough tools to deal with the Regieleki, but then slowly but surely the poison did its thing, and Tapu Koko surviving that ball switch, the low roll was massive. I really thought you were going to go for the Thunderbolt to secure that kill, and instead just, Tapu Koko survives and becomes a headache for you, and Regieleki not being able to do enough. And at the end, even if Volcarona had gotten past Slowbro, you were still in a Sucker Punch mind game against the King Gambit. So I think, you're right in that after Corviknight went down, it was a bit tough out there, but what a battle. I am extremely amazed by what Sabu has done.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's been great. He came with like asking about like drafting and all that sort of stuff. Like he's shown he wants to get better. No better way to prove it than here. So
Yeah, I mean, I believe he is our only African contestant, so glory to Africa.
Indeed. And what a crazy storyline now that's set up for Group D, because like Titanes was saying, 2 of our Pot 1 trainers are currently 0-2, both Spectre and Sev, starting off with 2 losses here in the tournament. And, this really puts the pressure on them going into the next weekend, because next week the Pod 1 trainers, Willow, Seb, myself, and Spectre, are going to be taking a break. We have some time to reset and just going to think what the rest of the tournament is going to look like. And I mean, it's going to be crazy out there trying to prepare for these type of battles, and just how everything is shaping up in Season 5. Really, really impressed with the level of so many of our new trainers here. I mean, crazy. I also wanted to ask you about like the back and forth you were having in the chat. Like, games, I think that was pretty funny. I appreciated it.
Yeah, no, I mean,
really...
I had the worst feeling that I had the worst feeling that the Hydro Pump was going to miss. I knew I should have clicked I wanted to click a different move, but I thought really like that it would like there was a chance that I think there's a really like small chance that I got like a bit too spooked of the chance of like a switch there, and I thought like Hydro Pump would probably be the best neutral move. That's for the most part it hits. But now I've missed like three or four in like some of the most crucial situations all season, and I'm not going to say like, oh, those Hydro Pump misses costing me the game. They didn't. If you're coming down to luck, like luck management is a skill. I didn't really manage my luck well there. And of course, like you just have to. I think I was a bit careless there. I think with the poison by we'll call it toxic there at the first turn in front of Corviknight. That was a really good call by Savutian. I didn't expect that. I was more expecting Scald, which I knew that Regieleki would be able to take very well, because I think a burnt Regieleki would have done me a lot more good than a poisoned one, because I would be able to stay in way more often. I think I definitely would have clicked Thunderbolt if that was the case. But yeah.
Yeah, tough luck. Game of margins, and like we know in Pokemon, if it's not 100%, it's 50% accurate in this beautiful game that we play. Unfortunate at times, but beautiful in so many ways in others. Let's take a look at how everything shaped up in Matchday 2. Unfortunately, we also wanted to have the debut of Fails today, but I believe that the schedule change of the stream kind of played against him, and wasn't able to show up, hasn't been responding either, and so Juliana has been awarded a 6-0 victory right there. So that is massive for Juliana's chances in the group, obviously, and we'll have to wait for Fails to respond for their battle in Matchday 3. But the rest of the matchups, I mean, Willow once again commanding 6-0 over Idaa, Mats with the upset over Seb, Kaijinken silencing the haters in Philippe, me getting my first win against zlord, Psychick triumphing over Slither, and both Doodle and Savutian coming through in Group D, setting up a lot of storylines over here. And I mean, if we take a look at the standings here, we kind of see reflected the dominance from Willow right here. 2-0, 12-0 in Pokemon difference. Insane so far. Obviously, Eli Bongo took a break, but he's still in second place. Juliana moving up to third with that forfeit victory. And yeah, Fails and Idaa will have to bounce back. Seeing Idaa in last place feels a bit harsh, because I feel like he's done relatively well in his first two battles. But yeah, gonna have to bounce back if he wants to have a chance at the knockouts. Group B, this is where it's at. Like, this is where it's gone crazy, because Kaijinken 2-0, top of the group. Titan with a game in hand will come back next weekend to try and reclaim that. Mats jumping up to third, ahead of Seb and Philippe, who are still yet to pick up a victory. I mean, panelists, this group has gone absolutely crazy so far.
I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, every game here is the quality of a derby, and just played like that. I mean, what do we have next week within Group B? Let's pull it up. Like next week
versus Philip.
Oh yeah, I mean that's probably going to be hearing a lot of. Still probably going to hear the haters there, but then we have Kaijinken against Mats. That should be pretty interesting as well. I think like Seb having the week to kind of like having the extra time to like sit down and prepare for a pretty big grudge match against Philip as well. I mean, we also have the Greninja Derby that week, so So I think we'll have a lot of time to really like regroup his thoughts. I mean, I will as well because, Christ, that's not a good. I'm pretty much playing playoff games now, so
Yeah, we'll get to that soon. Here in Group C,
I
everything.
feel like I need another win to feel safe enough to be top 3.
Yeah, and I mean, going up against
Like,
Philippe and Kaijinken will be a tall order there.
Like the second or third feeling I had after beating Seb was there's more to do.
Yeah, obviously, games, job's not done for Team Mats over here. One impressive victory is not enough because to get out of the group, you need to get more than one win. Here in Group C, everything's tied. 4 trainers on 1 win. Myself, Steve, Psychick, and zlord. Steve, obviously, with the game in hand after resting this week. Well, Slither debuted today with a loss, but still obviously has another game in hand to try and recover from that. So everything's super tight here in Group C. I'm going to have a week off, and we'll have to see if Steve can recover the top of the group in the next match day. And, well, Group D, this is where Doodle so far has been dominating, 2 victories. Ayush had the week off and still in second place ahead of Sabu. And both Spectre and GameboyShadow have a lot of work to do to get back into this one.
yeah, I mean,
So,
what a group we have, right? I mean, here, honestly, Savutian's shown he's got a lot better. I mean, GameboyShadow probably is going to have to do like a lot of preparation, at least for me. I'm a bit worried now. I think, well, a bit rattled. I'm going to have to do a lot better. I pretty much have to beat GameboyShadow, and I have to beat Ayush as well, which is going to be a very uphill battle because of his team being pretty much all out offense and all that sort of stuff. So it'll be difficult, no doubt about that.
Yeah, I think difficult is definitely the word there. Next match day, like I anticipated, the Pod 1 trainers are taking a week off. And I think that you might say that may mean that some of the battles are not top heavy. In my opinion, that means that all of the battles are open, because all of these matches, I feel like, are extremely close. I have no idea what's going to happen next week. We're going to have Eli Bongo playing up against Fails. If Fails decides to show up, I feel like that could be a very, very close battle. And Idaa against Juliana, the battle of the 2 friends, is going to be really, really interesting to see. Titanes against Philippe. We've already said, like, Philippe was already talking so much trash about Titanes, and I think he's going to have to prove it now. And Kaijinken against Mats. I mean, it's a crazy matchup to try and see if Kaijinken continues his winning streak or if Mats can, get himself to 2 victories.
I've had a selection dilemma for this. I'm looking forward to this one, and I believe I've got the resources to brush aside Kaijinken's threats and get me the win, but let's see.
Yeah, and can Mats finally beat an Indian in this tournament?
Oh yeah.
That as well. Then in Group C, Psychick against Steve is such an underrated matchup. I feel like Psychick, if he uses his tools well, he definitely has the capacity to beat Steve. I believe this one is in Hard Rock Stadium as well. So we know that Psychick has been staying in Miami. So that's going to be basically a home game for him. And zlord,
and let's not forget last time these two who played, Psychick won by five kills in what was a big upset. That was his statement win that he could be competitive in these tournaments.
Yeah, no,
even despite Eviolite on slow, bro.
Yeah, indeed. And I mean, zlord against Slither, I think it's kind of like the battle of 2 underdogs, and we're gonna have to see who comes out on top. Someone once said that low-level battles were the most fun, so I feel like I'm really looking forward to that one. I feel like both could come up with some crazy tech, and we're gonna see fireworks in that one. Then Doodle against Ayush. Oh my goodness! Like, what a battle that is! I think that's match of the week in terms of like heavyweight battles.
It's also Inter versus Barcelona.
Yeah, Inter Barca as well. No, Doodle against Ayush is going to be crazy. We're going to have to see how Ayush can stand up to a champion, and if Doodle has what it takes to beat one of the stronger trainers we've gotten over the past few seasons. And then GameboyShadow against Savutian. Obviously, GameboyShadow trying to come up with a victory here after the first 2 initial losses. And Sabu, now coming off a very strong win against Spectre, is in a great position to pick up his second victory and potentially be in a good spot to move out from the group. So lots of storylines here on Matchday 3. I think it's going to be very, very exciting and interesting. I love all of these matches. Like I said, I have no idea what's going to happen. It's going to go crazy here. But anyway,
really,
go on.
I think really like the big match of the week is probably going to be Doodle Ayush. That's going to be fun to watch. And also, like you said, T10, any of the Group B matches really are also match of the week, simply because all the trainers there are so great. That truly is a group of depth right there. There's also like Psychick and Steve. I think Steve having improved, both of the players having improved by such an amount compared to when they first played is going to be huge in making sure that that game is going to be fun. And of course, with just how wild all the groups are, you can really see like how there's really like everything's so wide open, like you said.
Yeah, I think the 3 I'm looking forward to most would be Idaa vs Juliana because of that personal connection, my own game, and Doodle vs Ayush. Oh, I'll also say Psychick vs Steve as well.
Yeah, very, very interesting matchups. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for us today. We had a bit of a shorter stream because we had mostly replays to go off, but that didn't mean that the battles went down in quality. Instead, we're still going up, and I think that Matchday 3 is going to deliver in a huge way. The groups are going to start taking shape. We're going to see maybe some players qualify or maybe some players be on the verge of elimination. So I think next Matchday is going to be super, super interesting. Guys, do you have any words before we wrap up?
Absolute Cindermar. Well, T10S didn't play this week, so maybe that wasn't. I made that pun too early, but it's been absolute cinema.
It has. It has. Anyway, thank you to everyone who's watched. Thank you to everyone here on the panel. We'll catch you here next weekend for Matchday 3. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you there. Peace out.
See ya.
See ya.